All right, in today's lecture, we're going to be talking about short answer questions. This is also one of the type of question that you can get in IELTS, and you can get about 10 questions like that. These are tricky ones because you have to really understand how many words you can write and what type of information you should go for. Okay, so you have to be very careful here. So we're going to practice these and we will understand how to tackle these questions. So let's do that. What we really need to do is we have to deal with the short questions answer. This topic is about dealing with short answer questions. You will have a monologue set in an everyday social context, right? You will have about 10 questions and the same order as the audio. So you don't have to worry about it. You can look at the questions and you can answer them in order. Okay. Understanding what is this task about? It's a matching task as well, so you really need to understand, what's the question and what's the information that I can match it to. We're gonna start with looking at worksheet one. We're gonna look at the instructions. We'll match the possible answers to the instructions, and we will also. It's very important that you understand the instruction. So we will spend some time understanding the instruction. The instruction is going to tell you how many words you can use. So we'll spend some time on that, because a lot of people actually do not read the instruction carefully. And if you don't read the instructions carefully and you write more words than that is required of you, then you're going to lose marks. Okay, so let's just do this quick activity where we are just understanding and setting the tone for the actual thing. We're just understanding the instructions. When you answer questions IELTS listening test, it is important to understand and follow the instructions. So we're going to match the instructions. On the left, we've got instructions and we've got possible answers, right? From left to right, we're going to do a matching activity first, okay? So match the instructions on the left to one possible answer on the right. So let's start with the first one. I'll do one for you just to show you how I'm doing it. Write one word only. What does that mean? Write one word only. If you look at the possible answer on the right-hand side, what letter can I match it to? We've got 60 craftsmen. We've got 60 local craftsmen. 60 craftsmen is one word, but also one number. Okay, so you can't use that. It says one word only. So look at option number F. It's craftsmen. It's only one word. That's the only option that you can use here. Okay, so if it says one word only, you have to stick with one word only. You can't use more than one word. Okay, so do this activity on your own. Pause the video here and do this activity on your own. And when you come back, okay, and also do question number 2. Some of the possible answers can fit the other instructions as well. For example, write no more than, question number 3, write no more than 3 words can also fit 60. No more than 3 words doesn't mean you have to write 3 words. You can write 1 word, you can write 2 words, you can write 3, maximum 3 words. So it can fit. Craftsmen can fit there. 60 craftsmen can fit there as well. 60 local craftsmen can fit there as well. Option D can also fit there as well. So you have to think about this. Do this activity on your own. It's very important to understand instructions. People take it for granted and then they write. They don't follow the instruction, they lose marks. These are silly marks to lose. And I think you should really spend some time understanding the instructions. So let's do that. When you come back, we'll review the answers. All right, I hope you had a chance to look at the instructions and understanding the instructions and what is required of you, how many words you can write, how many numbers you can write, what combination of numbers and words can you write. So here, look at the answers and match with your answers and see if it all makes sense, and go back and check your answers if none of these are matching with yours. Okay. All right, we'll keep moving. Now we're going to talk about strategy for short answer questions, keywords, and anticipating answers. So very important that you read the keywords, all right, and you anticipate what type of answer you're going to get. So let's ask these 2 questions. Do you have time to prepare when the audio starts? Absolutely yes. So you get time to read the questions and prepare what you're going to be listening. about. How to best use this time? You have to read the context, understand the context. Understanding the context is going to help you to write down the short answers, because then you would know what information you're looking for. Okay, so let's do some practice. So here on the right hand side, we'll practice our strategy. How do we look for the context? What kind of context or information can we grab so that we are, when we are listening, we are absorbing that information. We are focusing on that information. So let's look at this one question. Read question 11 to 16. All right. Write no more than 3 words and or a number. So it's saying you can write 3 words plus a number, or you can write 2 words plus a number. In other words, that's what it's saying, right? The first question is, what 2 factors can make social contact in a foreign country difficult? 2 factors. So you're looking for 2 factors that makes social contact in a foreign country difficult. And you can predict the answer as well. If you think about it, what are the factors that make it hard for you when you travel overseas? Language is number 1, right? So you already might know the answers to this if you really are understanding the context. That's why it's very important. You do have time to read the questions and understand the context before you hear, before you listen. Now, second question is, what type of community groups does the speaker give examples of? So community groups. So when you hear community groups, it's the information that it's going to be talking about. It could be rephrased, but it should talk about some sort of groups. It should mention theater by name, and then it will mention 2 other community groups. So those are the examples that we're looking for. In what 2 places can information about community activities be found? So in which 2 places can information about community? So we're looking for 2 places where the information can be found. Information about community activities can be found. Where can you go and collect more information? There should be two of them. The order doesn't matter. You can put any of those in different orders, 15 or 16, but you should be able to get to places where you should be able to get the information. Okay, so let's read on the right hand side. What are the things that I want you to do? This activity also I want you to do on your own, to just synthesize, how do you understand the context so that you can understand the possible answers without listening. We're not even listening at the moment. We're just synthesizing it, understanding it, how we can predict the answers. Because when you predict the answers, actually you have more than half of your job is done. You're just making sure your answers are correct. Okay, so let's look at prompt number 1. Look at the sample question on the following page. Following page is on the left. I've put it on the left. You will hear a monologue on a given topic. What do you think the monologue is about, right? What is the topic about, right? How many parts? Monologue is going to be from one speaker, right? So you should know that it's just going to be one speaker. It's not going to be 2 speakers here. Monologue is just going to be one speaker giving some sort of information. Okay, how many parts are there to talk? How many parts are there to the talk? So you're going to hear a talk, and how many parts are there? 3 parts, right? So the first is about social barrier, social contact, for example. The second one is about the community groups. Third one is about where you get the information. It's 3 parts, but I'll let you do it on your own. I'm just discussing how you should think about your answers. How many words you can write? Think about how many words. Again, follow the instructions very carefully. Number 2, to help you follow the monologue and follow the speaker, identify the keywords in the question. What are the keywords in question number 3? Keywords, for example, I'll give you an example of the first one. What 2 factors? We're looking for factors, that's the keyword. Social contact is a keyword, and make it difficult is a keyword in a foreign country. All of these are keywords, so you have to make sure you write those down. Do it for A, B, and C. And then in 3, again, this is an online course, so you won't be doing a pair work unless you're siblings and doing at home and you both are doing it. You can do the pair work, right? Or if you're doing it with your friends, you can do it pair work as well, but it's an online course, so you might have to do it on your own. Try to anticipate the type of answer you may hear and think of possible answers. Complete the table below. So you've got some questions here and you've got type of answer. Now, in terms of type of answer, you have to think about part of speech. Are you looking for a noun, adverb, verb, adjective? What are you looking for? What type of answer are you looking for? Are you looking for names? Are you looking for places? Things like that. For example, what type of factors can make social contact in a foreign country difficult? Obviously, it should be factors. It should be a noun, right? And possible answers could be, I gave you one example, language barrier, for example. But there might be other factors that are mentioned, and should be what I mentioned. You're just matching your predictions with your things that have been mentioned. All right, so pause the video here, do this activity on your own, and when you come back, we're going to review the answers. Let's do it. All right, I hope you had a chance to look at these, do the activity on your own. Let's look at the answers now. Exercise 1, the suggested answer is, what is this prompt about? It's about living in a foreign country, right? So the first answer, the question was asking you, what is the monologue about? It's about living in a foreign country. Okay, question number 2 was, how many parts are there to the talk? Obviously, there are 3 parts, and that's what you need to think about. The first part talks about, is asking you about difficulties in social contact. Second part is community groups, and third one is places to get information on community activities. The C is very important. How many words can you write? Do not write more than that. Okay, very important again. A lot of people make these mistakes. No more than 3 words and or a number. You can write 3 words and a number, or you could write 2 words and a number, or you can say it's or a number, right? So, but do not write more than 3 words. Don't write 4 words, for example. Okay, exercise 2. What is the exercise 2? It says, to help you follow the monologue and follow the speaker, identify the keywords in the question. So you have to identify the keywords. Question number 1 has keywords such as factors. Your keywords might be a little bit different, but these are some of the keywords that you should have. Factors, social contact, difficult. These are keywords that you should be focusing on. What are the factors that are making the social contact difficult? That's how you synthesize information. Number 2, community groups. You're looking for community groups that you can get in touch with. To see where can you find information. So place, information, activities, the places you're looking for. Your answer should be looking for the places, right? Question number 3 asks you what type of an answer it should be and what is the possible answer. So let's look at this. The first question is, what 2 factors can make social contact in a foreign country difficult? It should be nouns, it should be names of the factors, right? And the factors are not knowing the language, not knowing anyone. So I predicted that answer could be a language barrier, and you can see the language here is mentioned. So not knowing the language, it's just our predictions. Okay, we're gonna do this activity on your own, and then you will come back and listen to the answers. But these are the predicted or possible answers. Not knowing anyone, being unfamiliar with the culture, etc., etc. Okay. Question number 2, what type of community groups does the speaker give examples of? Again, we're looking for noun, right? So the type of communities could include dance, sport, charity, study, etc., etc. There's one mention that is theater, but there might be more other communities that you can get in touch with. In which 2 places can information about community activities be found? In which 2 places can information about community can be found? Where you will go to get the information? It should be places, right? So it's a noun. What type of noun? It should be places. So you could go to library, community center, student services, local newspaper, etc., etc. Okay, right. Let's do the activity. At this time, listen. This is a live activity that you're going to do with me. Write down your answers, and then we're going to review the answers. Let's do it.
You will hear an extract from a talk given to a group who are going to stay in the UK.
Good evening and welcome to the British Council. My name is John Parker and I've been asked to talk to you briefly about certain aspects of life in the UK before you actually go there. So I'm going to talk first about the best ways of making social contacts there. Now, you might be wondering why it should be necessary. After all, we meet people all the time. But When you're living in a foreign country, it can be more difficult, not just because of the language, but because customs may be different. If you're going to work in the UK, you will probably be living in private accommodation, so it won't be quite so easy to meet people. But there are still things that you can do to help yourself. First of all, you can get involved in activities in your local community. Join a group of some kind. For example, you'll probably find that there are theatre groups who might be looking for actors, set designers, and so on. Or if you play an instrument, you could join music groups in your area. Or if you like the idea of finding out about local history, there'll be a group for that too. These are just examples. And the best place to get information about things like this are either the town hall or the public library. Libraries in the UK perform quite a broad range of functions nowadays. They're not just confined to lending books, although that's their main role, of course.
All right, I hope you had a chance to do this activity on your own and you got all the answers down. Please look at your answer, double check your answers. And now we are going to look at the answers together. All right, answers 11 to 12 in either order, language or customs. Okay, language and customs. 13 and 14 in either order, music, groups. This is optional. Obviously, you can write up to 3 words. Even if you write music, that's completely fine. Local history, you should have found you should have paid attention there. Local history, you can also write groups because you have options to write 3 words. 15 and 16 in either order. Again, the public library or libraries or just library is fine as well. The town hall or just the town hall. Town hall or the town hall. Okay. Words in brackets are optional. They are correct, but not necessary. Alternative answers are separated by a slash. Cool. All right. Let's look at the audio script. If you wanted to look at the audio scripts, that's where you were presented the answers. Language, so it talks about, it can be more difficult, not just because of the language, but because customs may be different. Talks about, what are the other groups, for example. So if you play an instrument, you could join music groups in your area, or if you like the idea of finding out about local history. Yeah, history is the group for that. There is a group for that too. And then these are just examples. The best places to get information about things like the best places to get the information are things like either the town hall or the public library. All right. So that's all we had for the short answer questions, and you can get about 10 questions for this kind of activity. That's how you are going to synthesize, and that's how you're going to tackle this activity. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for listening.